Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair. On the show tonight is the good, the bad, and the ugly of Rangers Radio. Bridgeman, young Robert, and the one and only AK. Evening, gentlemen. Evening, AK.
Evening, Ox. Evening, everybody.
Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox, Bridge, AK.
All right, legend.
Oh, what can I say? Good evening to yourself, Oxshire, and the techie boys in the background, and the two young gentlemen that are with us tonight. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Robert?
I'm very well, mate. Very well. Good to be back. How are you? And plenty of stuff's happened over the past few weeks, so looking forward to getting in amongst the show tonight.
Oh, yeah. How are you, AK? Fighting fit? Pass a fitness test, mate?
Get in there, pal. Get in there. But aye, thanks for asking. Looking forward to a good show.
All right. And the one on the bridge, how are you, mate? How's that Swiss bank account doing, mate?
No big enough, I'll tell you. No, I'm doing okay, thanks very much. I'm doing okay. Apart from that, the rotten weather, very cold this morning, icy cold.
I think you're getting a change in the weather, Bridge, but it's going to be tropical. It's going to be
It was actually a lot warmer this afternoon, truth be told, you know, and with 3 or 4 good days of sunshine this week. It's pretty cool. Didn't mean it was cool weather-wise.
Yeah. To see the sun. The sun. AK weather, very topical in the Rangers world this afternoon. It broke that there's going to be an inspection at 1 p.m. Doesn't it look good, does it?
Aye, well, we're fingers crossed. We obviously want to go ahead with the game if we can, but aye, the weather's been pretty horrific, innit? That winter break's a great idea, isn't it? You go away for 2 weeks when the weather's all right and you come back and it's worse.
Yeah, that's the problem, mate. That's the problem, yeah?
Yeah.
You create a problem. So, was it fair to say, Robert, 50-50 whether the game's going to be on or no? The fact that having an inspection doesn't fill you with confidence, does it?
No, it doesn't, mate, and I'd be more inclined to probably go 70-30 to it being called off.
Oh, dear.
It's that stadium, it's fairly open, one stand right next to the water. I don't think it's going to do us any favours, unfortunately.
And to be fair, you've got all that bad air coming from the south of the river out of the north, haven't you?
Aye, you do, and pretty breezy at the minute, so I'm sure it'll pick up overnight.
It's no looking good, Bridge, and obviously it's changing. I think it'll be more the fact that it could be flooded, the waterlogged, rather than frozen, huh? Bridgie boy?
It's a very, very cold wee part of the world, in that next to the Black Rock here. So I would expect bad weather all the way through. I know that they were talking about having a pitch inspection. I believe it's somewhere around about lunchtime. I think it'd be better than 8 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock, obviously because of the time of the kick-off, AK.
Yeah.
It's 5:30 kick-off it's scheduled for, so 1 o'clock is scheduled. But you've got people already made arrangements and everything in it. It's going to be a pain, but hopefully it goes ahead. But it's no a great start to the second part of the season if it doesn't.
No. Well, as we just need to go on and deal with it, you know. There's part of me thinks if the weather's going to be horrendous, I'd rather it didn't go ahead for the safety of the players in some respects, but the luck we're having, Robert. But other, we just don't want to start having a fixture built up, do we? We've seen this movie before.
Nah, you're right, mate, because the chances are if it is postponed, it's going to be a midweek fixture, probably a Wednesday night or Tuesday night card. So coming off the back of a league game midweek and, as you said, fixture pile up, and that causes probably more injury risk than probably playing a game tomorrow with the wind and rain or frozen condition. But if you can get it on, get it done and get it out the way is what I say.
Again, if the weather was to get bad, the fixture pile up, we would be where we go. Scottish football. We've created a monster. Yeah.
I know. We've created our own problems there, but whose bright idea? By the way, could we not have flew them back now to Malaga last week and just played them there?
La Manga. Well, we could have took them to Gibraltar and just kidded on it was the Barton Rock, couldn't we?
True. Right. I'm not sure whether the SFA would agree to that, but
Did you say the SFA or the SAS there? I didn't quite catch it.
probably a bit of both.
Right, okay. Right, aye. So we'll see. We'll see where the weather brings them on. But it's the Scottish Cup time. Bridgeband traditionally in the third round of the Cup, or the fourth round as they call it. It was one of the biggest fixtures of the season. Things have changed there.
Yeah, but it's still a huge event. But clubs that can stay in until the fourth round of the Cup, possibly the fifth round of the Cup. They're making a couple of bob if they get some decent crowds in, and it's really good for them. But it's a disaster for the bigger teams if they drop it, they'll get a draw. If they're at home and they get a draw, then away from home again if indeed there are any replays. It can be pretty bad for the big teams. A wee slip up here and there, and it's curtains. And then you're out with the knives and you've got the fans out with trying to kill everybody,
Well, with a couple of historic bloopers, obviously, I would say that the most famous one is obviously the Berwick Rangers event in '67, and possibly followed by Hamilton, which is a bit bizarre considering they were still they were in the top flight, the same league as at the time, but still, they're the two famous ones, AKA.
I recall the Hamilton Accies one, definitely. 87, Adrian Sprott. I believe Chris Woods broke the goalkeeping record that day as well because our defence was so good for shutout. So that was a shock. But the 67 one was, the Bridgeman might be able to recall that one. But it's two defeats that stagnate in our history.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
But Robert, it's a competition we'd want to win. The Scottish Cup always,
Absolutely, mate. It's another trophy in the bag, and obviously get it back in the trophy cabinet, add more trophies to the history. So again, a competition you want to win, and we can still get a treble. So it's all to play for. It is, when you see it, it's one of those fixtures that you look at and you don't be nervous about it, but as you say, history could creep up on you, and before you know it, you've got a shock in your hands. But I don't envisage any issues.
No, not there, but the weather's a great level of Bridgeman,
Weather's probably the biggest leveler of all, followed by a bad pitch,
Then you could have both.
And then you could have both, yeah, and then it makes it a mockery. But I think the weather could be shocking, And even when it's good and hot, warm, it could be very too hot for some people, They could struggle in it. But that wind and the rain, you're playing in fantastic places like Cardonald pitches, or the 50 pitches at Cardonald. And every pitch has got a big hole in it.
The wind, the bridge, that was my memory.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You just want to change the tones out and give a shout out to a celebrity Rangers fan, and whether we think Andy Cameron's a great comedian or funny or no, but he's definitely a bear. And listen, he lost his son today at 40 years of age. So I would have thought Scott the Cameron family at this time, young Spencer, passed away today. Lost his battle, I believe, to cancer. So all my thoughts for Rangers Radio. But one of our own, Andy Cameron and all his family and friends. Sad, Alex,
Yeah, 100%. And every single one of us know the feeling. Cancer's a horrible disease. So yeah, well said, Ox. Some thoughts with Andy Cameron's family this evening.
Yeah. Right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, young Robert. If it's all right with you, mate, we're going to hear the first part of the Gaffer's interview. We'll have a conversation and we'll get the phone lines open, yeah?
Sounds like a plan to me, bud. Sounds like a plan.
We've always got a lot of women phoning in on a Friday night with AKs on. Right.
Southside's not here tonight.
just for anybody who's listening wants any more of Big Stevie, by the way, he's set up his own an OnlyFans page, AK. I don't know if you're aware of it. It's #meatpie. Yeah. Big Stevie.
I heard he's selling photos of his feet.
Oh, I don't know how you can do that. He's not seen them for years.
Oh dear.
I could tell you a story the night you phoned me, but it wouldn't be fair. It was a beller. Right, okay, let's hear from your gaffer. Philip, come on.
Philippe, I know you'll be getting sick of being asked questions about the transfer window every time we speak, but...
So we're not going to speak about it. Yeah, it's really nice of you. I love it. I love it.
We need to do the dance. You spoke in midweek quite a lot about some of the challenges. You spoke about the issue at left-back as well. There's a suggestion out of Turkey today that Ridvan's been told he needs to play regularly to make the Euro squad, and he may have come to you to ask to move to do that. Can you talk us through your discussions with Ridvan and what his situation is?
No, there's not been talks around that. We had our individual talk, like with all the players in training camp. It was very interesting with all the players, I have to say. I told them also it was the most open, trustful talks I had until now with the team. About everything, about themselves, about their working points, about last couple of months, about the future, about the club, things that we can improve with them, around them. So it was really good, and with Ridvan, it was clearly a good talk, but because afterwards he played. So we will see. I know January transfer market, it's always special. And you need to be prepared for everything, and that's what we're going to do.
In midweek, you said you needed players who were committed. Mm-hmm. Do you get a sense that he is committed?
Yeah, clearly. Okay, you don't know me that long maybe, but if he was not committed, he would never have played against Hertha or against Copenhagen. Clearly. So, no, he's committed to the club and what he has to do here. Every training day, otherwise they will never come on the pitch.
How difficult is it to manage players in this transfer window when things can change quickly? Maybe they have got other things at play, for example, a summer tournament. All these things are swirling around.
It's part of our job. It's not the most pleasant period. I had moments in the past also that your best player, for example, wants to leave in January because he gets an offer that he cannot refuse. So you have a lot of talks with them, with their agents, with their wives, with their family, with everybody to keep them in the club. That's not been the case until now here. So no, it's always a challenging period, and I'm always happy when it's the 1st of February that there's a clear plan, that there's a clear squad. Because there are always a lot of rumor, noise. You get a lot of questions about that, although you cannot say much because it's about sometimes the moment, most of the time the moment itself to decide yes or no. And so we will see. I know what the situation is. We will see. Until now, I don't have from any player here the feeling that they are jumping to leave the building. I feel that everybody's really involved in the club and in what's going on here. So that's already a positive thing. I had already other experience in that way, but it doesn't mean that tomorrow that can start. I know I've been now more than 30 years in this world, so I know how fast things can go. But I will select players who are committed to the club. Point.
In terms of incomings, Philippe, have you progressed with that at all? Have you got a number on how many players you want to come in before the end of the window?
Same answer as the last 10 times. Yes, we have a number. Yes, we are aligned about that in the club. Did we progress? Probably yes, because there have been longer talks, more talks. Does it mean that we're at the end of the road? No, because there's nobody who signed yet. Otherwise, you would be the first to know. That I can promise. directly, not personally, but we will announce it directly.
I've got to ask you about a player the club have been linked with, Aberdeen midfielder Conor Barron. Is he a player you're interested in? Is he someone that Rangers are interested in? Or?
Really, with all respect towards you guys, I'm not going to discuss every player there is rumors about. I've read the most crazy things last couple of weeks already. So we're not going to go in that game, because otherwise I will not have a life anymore. And it's not respectful also towards players that you're not interested in, or teams who have players you're not interested in. And so I never go into rumors about any player. I will speak about players when they are in the building.
Just in terms of players that are here, how are we looking injury-wise for the weekend? Obviously, you've had some mid-season friendlies. Everyone recovered okay? Anyone closer to recovery?
No, not okay. So Kieran Dowell get injured in training camp, so he will be out for a while. Kemar is still injured. Danny will be injured probably until the last weeks of the season. So we don't expect him much faster back. And Ben Davies is the one who's closest to coming back. All the rest have trained.
Just with Dowell, what is the injury specifically?
Yeah, it's his ankle. So we need to see what's the best way to treat it, that he can come back in the fastest, healthy way.
Philippe, you said there that things have progressed with regard to potential recruitment. Is that for one target, or are you talking more than one target?
It's all, yeah. Good question. I almost got caught there. No, we will see if it's one or more. We have our plan all together, and for me the most important thing in this period, I feel that everybody's aligned, that the club really wants to make effort to do things inside of the budget, and we're not the most wealthy club in the world. I know that. So we want to get transfers in that can have impact now, but also can have added value for the next couple of years on the field, and selling them for bigger amounts. Because if you look back the last couple of years, I think this is also one thing that the club has missed. They didn't have big outgoing transfers, and because of that, getting money in to do other things. So we need to get better in that. That's also one of the targets. Strange as a manager to talk about that, but I know what the story is, and I want to help in that way so that the club can grow in every sense.
In terms of saying Silva on loan, so are you suggesting there that the deals that you do, or any deals that you do this month, will be permanent ones?
No, I don't suggest anything.
Right, thanks for that, folks. It's like a battle of it. Young Robert.
Tells it straight as it is, mate. You've been hearing that since he came in the door. He's not going to hide from answers. He's going to tell them honestly, but in a respectful way as well, to mind their business. And as I say, they'll talk about players that come in when they're got the scarf above their head. We've seen the pictures, and it's quite right to do that, because you end up getting drawn in more speculation. So I like his approach, and it's quite honest in a way. But it's good to hear that talks have progressed with target or targets, so it means that work is getting done, and hopefully some movement in the next coming days.
Aye, we can speculate all we want, AK, but it doesn't count to the guy standing with a scarf at Murray Park or Ibrox, does it?
Absolutely, mate. It's something there now, but you want to do your business as quietly and efficiently as you can. The worrying aspect, though, for the supporters' point of view, is if we were going to do business, surely we could have got guys in, for the La Manga training stint. But if we do get the player that we all, most days want in, then he walks straight into your team anyway. He doesn't need a training camp. But if it's nobody to come in, Ox, that's where alarm bells starting to ring.
If you're talking about Mr. Shanklin, mate, for me there's only one opinion that matters.
Very true. Aye, very true. But it still doesn't discount the fact that we do need a goal scorer.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a minute, but if that's what we're saying,
Yep.
I mean, I've got my own views on it, but we'll see where that takes us. If the manager wants him, I'm all in.
Yeah.
You know, but don't be surprised.
You go to back him, you go to trust him.
Aye. But we'll see.
Yeah.
He's a cagey operator, Bridger.
You know, I love the way he puts them down, quite gently, maybe I say, but it's good to hear. He's not falling for any traps. He picks it up. He's been there before with other teams, so I really like the way he works and operates. And his honesty about our players and the fact that we're not the richest club. Well, he's only saying what the fans all know, you know. But I'm still thinking that somewhere along the line he's going to bring someone in, maybe two. But I still say I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it's going to be Shanklin, but you never know. But well done to that. Your manager's brilliant, Mr. Cleveland. Brilliant, just great.
Yeah. He's a shrewd operator. And listen, I was remiss of you also at the start of the show that you went, which Rangers lady's the best tonight. Hopefully they can get a result. Robert?
Yeah, hopefully do, mate. It's coming up to the end of the first half just now. It's been quite a end-to-end game. I've had it on in the background there. We've hit the bar, so we've been quite close, but hopefully go on and get a result. Put them in the final.
Yeah. Hope so. That'd be really tiddly ones, you know what I mean? Right, okay, so listen, AK, we better get these phone lines open to maybe obviously some of the stories broke today about young Lowry coming back, but people think of the transfer. What do you think we will do tomorrow if the game goes ahead, the cup tie? What kind of team will pick? Get the phone lines open?
Yep, definitely. Bring the troops in, give your opinion.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
How are you enjoying the Blondie Bridge?
The Blondie, the music you mean?
Aye.
Blondie's music, yeah, she was quite good. They were quite good. You know?
Fox has been playing with it. That doesn't sound very clever when I've said that out loud. You know what I mean? He's been messing about with the jingle, AK.
Well, they do say gentlemen prefer blondes.
Yes, well, he's a lot of things. He ain't one of them. Right, okay. Listen, I sort of broke this afternoon. Young Alex Lowry's coming back to his Robert. What a surprise, really. Hope the young boy can kick on, you know. He's not a baby anymore, but he's still a young man. He's had to put up with a lot of expectations. He lost his mother. You know, he maybe lost a bit of confidence, lost his way a wee bit. Hopefully he can kick on. I think it would make sense for him to go out on another loan. Like a lot of the boys, he needs to be playing, you know.
It does, and you said about their confidence, Ox. I think that's what he needs. He needs to go and get regular starts. I know he kind of made a bit of an impression at Hearts early on in his loan spell, but fell away the last few weeks. He wasn't really getting a look in. If anything, it was maybe substitute appearances, if anything. So another loan does make sense for him. I don't think he's going to come in to the squad and break into it or anything. You could probably see a different level of confidence and ability in terms of Lowry and McCausland. So a loan deal would probably suit all parties, get him the game time and review him in the summer, see where he's at and go on from there, really.
Aye. It looks as if he's miles away for playing for our first team, but you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Aye, well, it's a wee bit he needs must, isn't it? I think in that area, the part we're kind of top heavy with that sort of player for Alex Lowry's role. Hearts, as you say, I mean, I think there were high hopes for him to do well there, as Rob says there. I think he scored a couple of goals. He scored the winner, I think it was, against Kilmarnock in the League Cup. They put them through the semi. Aye, scored a good goal there, but he seemed to disappear for whatever reason. You say he's had some trauma early on in his life, and I think he just needs an arm around the shoulder, a wee bit of guidance for somebody, and restart his career. If it's not with us, then I think maybe somebody with, you know, these sort of characters that would put something into him, you know, and hopefully he kind of restarts his football career.
Aye, needs a bit of luck. He's got vision, he's got ability, but that doesn't make you into a top pro, does it, Bridge? You need all the attributes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You need them all. And, you know, like I was saying there, like, ideally we're looking for someone, Alec Gray, to come in and speak to the boy. I don't know if Alec's a gentle enough voice, but he knows him. So take him under his wing and tell him what's needed, and this is what you need to do. And don't go through too many faults, of course, because that can be downgrading you, you know. But I think Alex would be good. Alex would be good on that and be smashing. Rangers need more people who, shall we say, are long-time Rangers players. They need them more of them about the club to speak to people like that. But that's what he needs.
I personally think he'll go on loan again, if that makes sense, Robert. I think that's what's going to happen. The way I'm picking it up, I don't think we called him back, yeah, but I'm guessing there.
The way it kind of came across was Hearts kind of willing to send him back, and they didn't need him anymore for the remainder of the season. That's the way it came across to myself as well. But I kind of look at, if you're going to send him to a team within the league on loan, you're kind of maybe looking at a Kilmarnock or a St Mirren just to get some game time around about the kind of clubs. He's been at Hearts, kind of top end of the table. The two teams I've mentioned are probably somewhere that you could get more frequent game time and become a key player for them and get the confidence and come back to us in the summer, as I said. And
I don't think he's getting any of the teams at the moment, mate. I think he has to start again.
It'll be interesting to see where he does go from here. Obviously, his own personal views and how Clement manages him. And as Alex says, he might need that arm round the shoulder. And we've seen Clement do a lot of that with players, especially the young boys. So we're all saying here a loan move might be better for him, but Clement might see something that he can do in the meantime with him, whether it's playing B team games and being closer amongst the first team, get some development that way. I don't know, but I think personally to develop, I felt you need to be playing the games at first team level, especially for the ages as now. As I said, he's not a young boy, but he's young in the game, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, we wish him all the best. We wish him all the best, AK, yeah?
Press the wrong button there. No, you're right. Listen, I was going to make a suggestion. Inverness, Duncan Ferguson, give him a restart up there. The big man will look after him, hopefully drill a bit of character into him. And Championship's not a bad level for him to start it, and you never know, it could end up a permanent move, or it could come back a better player, better person, better attitude.
But the time he gets the bus up there, it'll be about March, mate. The season will be nearly finished.
He could tell to clear the pitch with snow.
We'll see, mate. We'll see, you know. Right, come and join us, 0141 356 1972. These are thoughts on anything Rangers related, and by the way, we've got Southside Super 6 coming up, and he's very, very confident this week, AK.
Christ, that doesn't mean a lot though, does it?
Just for the record, they still picked one last week. There was one of his teams for 3 doing it off time.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, very confident. Right, okay. Ridvan. The Ridvan one, obviously there's a lot of speculation, a lot of press. And I loved the way Clement answered that. I don't know if you picked up on it, Robert. He said, well, if he wasn't committed, he wouldn't have been starting the games. Yeah? And so we're reading stuff, and really, none of it might be true.
No, I did pick up on it. I quite like that as well. Again, I like the approach to that answer, because some people say he's got to see it because he's our player, but I think Clement is the manager that is of that opinion. If you're not committed, you won't play. Simple as that. Doesn't matter how good you are or how you affect the team. He'll find solutions, and he likes that challenge. So I think he's honest in what he says. That he sees commitment from Ridvan. He's put in a good couple of performances the past couple of weeks, particularly the Kilmarnock game at Ibrox. So the media speculation is always going to be there, especially these kind of transfer windows. It is what it is. But he was a prospect. He's a prospect for Turkey International. A lot of teams in Turkey want him back. But at the end of the day, he's still our player. And as the manager says, until anything changes, then he's got the commitment from him, and that's all we ask for. So you've got 11 players in the park that are committed. It makes a stronger team.
Did you pick up on that, AK? About the commitment bit?
Yeah, I did. I don't know whether it's mixed messages he's putting out there to the player as well, because he might think he's got a long-term future with us. I mean, the way the press put it to him is he needs game time, and he thinks he's going to get game time in Turkey. Well, at this moment in time, he's got the shirt, so he's getting game time with us. So he's putting himself in the shop window, but he's also, if he's putting in good performances for us, and it's going to be good for him and good for the team, isn't it? So I think there's also the contract situation with Barisic. Ridvan is more long term with his age and his contract and what he's worth. Barisic is coming to the end of his term, so surely it makes sense if we're selling one of them. Surely it's got to be Barisic. But we just don't know.
It depends how you look at it. If somebody came in with an offer for Barisic, they might be offering you $500,000 to get him early. Yeah, I'm being hypothetical here, AK. Somebody might come in with a stupid offer. Let's say we paid $3 million total for Ridvan. Yeah, because of the instalments and whatever, and somebody come in and said, we'll give you $6 million. They're doubling your money. Who do you let go?
Aye, that kind of makes sense. But then it comes down to Barisic, where he thinks he's long term is going to be at Rangers, and where Clement thinks he's good enough to stay at Rangers, or where he wants to improve that. But no, I get your rationale there.
Aye, well, everybody's got a price, but listen, we'll see what it takes us. And I like Clement's point also. Bridgman would be quite happy when the window's shut on the 1st of February, yeah, because then he can just concentrate. He doesn't have to listen to all the questions neither.
Yeah, the stories will change, won't it? They'll change. At present, he's getting himself up against the wall with the pressure, pushing a bit of pressure on him to give him an answer as to what you're going to do. Celtic have signed, blah, blah, blah. What's to that effect? You know. So things are tough, a lot tougher for us than it is for them, that's for sure.
Did you gentlemen, Mr. Fox picked up, and I don't listen to Radio Clyde, but did you gentlemen pick up on, they had I think it was an Austrian expert on to talk about their new signing. Did you? They absolutely slaughtered them, bro. Comedy gold.
You're joking.
No, it's well,
well,
I think it was Tuesday night. It's worth a listen if you can find it, Bridge. Worth a listen. Question for you, Steve. Question for you, Steve. You cover, you've got young Robert there, who's the teeny boppers. You've got AK, who's getting to the young pensioners, and Bridgman's got the war veterans. So we cover a lot of bases, yeah? Do any of you believe anything that's in the press? Robert?
Depends on who the press is, to be honest. There's some media out there that are reliable. Others are just making headlines and creating stories and clickbait on the internet. But 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't come to fruition quite a lot of times. So I guess it's just a judgment and a call if you think you believe it or not.
AK?
Aye. They're good at spinning stories to suit their narrative, put it that way. I don't buy the press or that anymore. I've learned my lesson there a few years ago, so I just stick to Rangers sites and the kind of the heart and hand in that. No just every site, because they're looking for hits and clicks and all that as well, a lot of them too, you know. So Rangers Radio, heart in hand, that'll do me.
Bridgeman, traditionally people would buy a paper every day and that, wouldn't they? Obviously things have changed with the internet, but if you say that if we change it slightly to the online press, you know, or the stories in the, if you like, the red tops of papers, do you believe them, Bridge? You're a man of a certain vintage.
No, I don't believe a single word of them.
Did you used to believe them, Bridge?
Well, they were at one time, they were the only form of news, shall we say, and getting updates. And they were actually, when I was younger, and yourself as well, you were a paper boy and things like that, you everywhere. You'd be reading the papers, and some good, I can't remember their names, reporters and things like that. They were very good, and it was a level playing field. I think maybe more towards us than them. But now it's just, I would suggest it's getting close to 90-95% them. And everything's getting weighted towards them, or even worse, just totally against us. And that's the way it is. And we need to watch ourselves at every level, and that includes the manager and what he says and how he says it, because it's all getting picked up. It's whacked onto X nowadays, or any other.
Yeah, I suppose that's the change. Robert, you maybe grew up with like the instant media now, the way that when somebody says anything, it's, even if it's misconstrued, it bang is out there. It becomes, that's the narrative, that's the truth, because it's out there, that's the story. Things have changed, eh?
They're not half, mate. And as you said, it's one media outlet can report one thing and then it's twisted and spinned on its head by another media source, and you're kind of left wondering what is actually going on half the time. But as AK says, official medias such as ourselves here, Heart and Hand, and obviously Rangers themselves, if they put anything out there, then it's, you believe it then. But until then, it is just still speculation. There's some numbers of players mentioned previously. Nobody can numbers of players mentioned the rest of the window it's open. So until it's official, then probably don't believe anything until you see it with your own eyes, do you?
That's true, mate. That's true. AK, it would just be quite interesting to know, you know, just for curiosity's sake, you know, if you look back at the last transfer window or whatever, how many players the club spoke to, and how many deals moved on to the next level, and then how many progressed in it. I think you'd be surprised, eh?
Aye. Again, it comes down to speculation, but the better clubs seem to do it, you know, behind closed doors, and nobody really, and that's really the way business should be getting done, between clubs. As you say, you're intimating there, the media, they're just putting out speculation for you know, to sell papers or to click on it and things like that, you know, stir up a wee bit of nonsense between clubs and maybe unsettle players regardless of where their narrative's coming from. But and as Rob's just said there, unless it's coming from valid sources, then nah, don't believe it. Don't believe the paper it's written on.
And they done it today, didn't they? They in that press conference, they tried to throw a young lad.
Yeah.
Aberdeen under it, didn't they?
Connor Barron for Aberdeen, yeah.
They tried to throw him under the bus, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know?
What was the boy done?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
People, scum of the earth, by the way. Scum of the earth. Seriously.
Yeah. Anyway, right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hear the second part with Big Philip, yeah? And then hopefully we'll get some calls coming in. What will we ask for? The Scottish Cup memories? Would that be good to hear that, Robert? Because once this second part of the interview is done, I might ask you three your favourite Scottish Cup memories. But remember, you've got to have been there.
Right, sounds good.
Right, okay. Right, let's hear the second part. Your Philip, come on.
Just in terms of what you're saying, in terms of players having a good sell-on value when they leave the club.
Yeah, we will see what the situation is. I would have preferred to buy Fabio, but it was too expensive for the club. So that's why it's a loan now.
On that transfer model, does that mean you need to look at what's the word I'm looking for? Not project players, but less experienced players that you can develop and then sell, or?
No, but it's not only about that. It's getting a good balance in everything in your squads. You need to have experienced players who have experience, who can guide the story, together with me, of course, that are aligned about that. So you need that. You need a good balance, but you need also to have young prospects that you can let them grow, and in one moment that they can grow to a higher level than Glasgow Rangers. That needs to be the objective, and you need a good balance in the way you work. So, and you need to have players who are in contract in your club. So like this season, to have 5 players out of contract, it's a crazy situation because you throw away money. You have no value anymore if the contract is ended. So there's a lot of work to be done in that way. Everybody in the club is working hard in that way to have now a clear vision how to bring money into the club in that way by developing the players, but getting results also, winning trophies. It's all of that together. It's not based on one thing, and that you don't come in a situation that players of value going end of contract and can go free. It's a situation in a well-leaded club that can never happen.
Those players that are out of contract, Philippe, when will you sit down with them and when will you discuss their longer term futures? Is that for further down the road?
It's case by case. It depends how they performed last couple of months, and it's not only with me. I'm not the guy from the money, I'm the guy from the sportive side. Luckily, otherwise I would be poor really fast because I don't have that money. So I will give my opinion about that, like always, and that's a good thing in the club. It's really transparent. Everybody's doing his talk, everybody doing it together. It's not a political club where some people are talking that way and other on that way. So everybody's really aligned. That doesn't mean that you always agree. You have discussions about things, but it needs to be that way.
Have you made any contract offers to any of those players yet?
That's personal between the club, and it's not me. Again, it's the club. It's between the club and the players, those things.
Philippe, you mentioned Danilo there. Is his recovery taking longer?
No, it was a really severe injury. No, it's normal. It's normal program.
Philippe, in terms of the weekend then, how much are you looking forward to getting your Scottish Cup journey started, and also going away to a ground that you might not play in every week, just one stand, a League Two side? You're looking forward to that? Looking forward to taking your team there?
I'm looking forward to games who are important, though these friendly games are for me also important. But we need to look at that moment also to get as many minutes as possible for everybody to prepare the second round of our season. So it's a different way. Like now it's an important game, and you can only make maximum 5 changes. So different rules.
What do you expect from them, but lead to your position harder to perhaps see footage of?
No, we've seen enough footage. Don't worry about that.
The pitch as well. What do you expect?
Yeah, the pitch is really bad. It's really bad, but it is what it is. I said it before also. One game, I don't want excuses for my players. If we need to play, I said it that moment also on the parking to win games, we're gonna do that. Is it a good way for football to have those circumstances? Maybe not, but we are not the one who deciding the rules. So we are playing the game, and we do our best in everything to make it as good as possible. Will it, with a bad pitch, will the quality go down in the football? Yes, like we've seen the difference between Hertha and Copenhagen was also because of the pitch, a big difference in quality of football. So we need to adapt to that and adapt what we need to do. But I feel the team is ready. They're hungry to be back in competition. They've been working really hard in training camp. They were really tired. after that, and that was good. But I see freshness again, and everybody's hungry for the second part of the season.
Just in terms of what you're saying, in terms of players having a good sell-on.
Right, thanks for that, folks. They try. He's good. He's smooth. I'm enjoying him, AK.
He seems to be ahead of them, doesn't he? He's certainly no falling into his trap. He'll look over the hole and then he'll go, "Nah, that's not for me. Nice try." But I enjoy his press conferences.
He's got a bit of wit about him as well, hasn't he?
Aye. There's a bit of humour there, but that time when he was accused of having the snow machine in that for the game that get cancelled up at Ross County there, there's a bit there that's weird, but there's also a steeliness about him as well. And you don't know who was I listening to the other night. I think it was like Derek Ferguson or Charlie Miller. It was one of them in a podcast, and they said to you don't see with Walter, his facial expression was kind of, he wouldn't give nothing away, so he didn't know whether he was going to be in a good mood or a bad mood, or whether he was going to crack jokes or be serious with. And I think Clement said that cut a jib.
Yeah, he mentioned, I think he's the hardest part of football now, Robert. You know, you might have a plan for a player with 2 years to go, you want to sell him, but if he doesn't want to go and see his contract, how do you deal with it?
It's a tough one, isn't it? And we've been in that position quite a lot of times, and obviously, particularly this summer, if players don't want to go, they just want to see their contract. And if you're trying to get a player out the door, you've got to be playing them for somebody to be interested as well. So if you're not playing them, then you're just left with somebody either warming up the bench or stuck in the reserves, taking a pay packet for nothing really. But it is a conundrum how you work it, and he also said he's not the money man, so he doesn't really have to do much of that kind of side of thing. But if he's a manager and he doesn't see a player in his plans, then he'll also be saying to the board to try and move them on and free up funds to bring in somebody that he can utilise more and be more effective in the squad.
I think part of the problem we've always got, Bridgeman, is usually if they leave us, they're nobody going to like the money they're getting with us. That's a problem, huh?
And there's a whole trailer of them in front of me. You're right. The contracts that players that come to Rangers, to all intents and purposes, are the top of the tree. They can't go much further unless they get to a Premier League team in England. Although in more modern days, the Championship plays quite in England pays a lot of money as well. So it might be in their Division 1 or something like that to get the same as us. They're spoiled rotten, absolutely spoiled rotten. And it's wonderful. When you're walking up the Ibrox and you look at the car park, you see the players' cars. You know, James Tavernier's. I can't remember it's a really, really expensive car. I know Maserati or something like that. Incredible, just incredible.
Aye, I think that's part of the problem. So we got out a contract. Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom, John McLaughlin, Keelan Roof. Who I missed? Borna Barisic, JK, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 5. Yep.
So I mean, at the moment, there's only Lundstrom playing. Ryan Jack's come in. Borna's come back in as well with Ryan, I suppose. Keelan Roof, John McLaughlin. They've not really been involved for a couple of years now, really, have they?
No, they've not had much game time at all.
For different reasons, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And out of the 5, well, for Barisic, it really depends on the Ridvan situation. Where we're looking for him to stay long term, or where we're just looking for him to run down his contract. But Clement touched on that today as well, didn't he? He says it's kind of crazy business if you've got assets there and you're letting them walk away for nothing. You should be regrouping that sort of money that you've spent on them to get them in the first place, plus the wages that we've had to pay them for the duration they've been at the club. So it's a bit crazy, the business that we're doing, and we've been saying that for a wee while. Our player trading model has not worked at all.
I think the problem with that is, mate, the club have absolutely no control over that. You can have all the theories you want, all the player trading models, and this summer, but next summer we could have another 5 players out of contract in 2 years' time. You're trying to move them on or extend their contracts and don't know want to do anything. AK, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, I get that. I mean, it's the transfer market is totally flipped in the last 20, 30 years, you would say, ever for the John Mark Bosman kind of case come in. You've got clubs here, say for example, Neymar, you know, he's went for hundreds of millions between clubs, and then eventually I think PSG wrote off his contract for nothing, you know, and that money is just getting lost out the game, lost to that club. I mean, they're in a fortunate position they can afford to lose that sort of money, but clubs like us in our league, in countries like us where the money is restricted, shall we say, it's very damaging to the club long term.
Aye. But I think I don't know how you control it. You might have the best theory, the best department in the world, Robert, but if Joe Bloggs doesn't want to move and just wants to see his contract out, you're knackered.
Yeah, mate. And the other thing as well is we're giving lengthy contracts as well, which players are quite happy to sit on and see out. Take Dessers, for example. He's in a 4-year contract, and what is it, 6 months into it? Nobody's going to come in for him and try and pay that money and give him a wage that you can quite happily sit on here for another 2.5, 3 years. So why would they move? I mean, there's no inspiration there, no drive. He's quite happy earning a pay packet. And that's the issue as well. We've gave the wrong players lengthy contracts and not kind of looked after the assets. And when we have sold them, it's been pennies.
I get the frustrations, Bridge, I understand it, but I just think that obviously you have that period where all of a sudden, if somebody's got 2 years, the club sort of control. If you get rid of somebody, you'll get the money. As soon as that year comes up, and there's a few weeks before, less than 6 months, they can sign for somebody for nothing. The power just swings out of the player. Eh?
Oh, absolutely. I would go so far as it goes to the 12 months. So as soon as they enter that last year, it's all in their hands, and they've got everything there. So some of the players end up with a half decent run, get good wages. And the boy Suter that came to us under the freedom, and he ended up coming early, and Hearts got a couple of quid with it. That doesn't happen. That's not good. That's a good story. So he got a contract. He got a really good contract for Rangers, starting for let's say in February or January. But Hearts had to pay. The Hearts received money as well. So sometimes there's winners and winners, and sometimes there's no. You know, I think Rangers are the best contracted players in the country. That's what I think. They've all a great contract, and yeah, really what's been said. Some of the players are just sitting in the contract and waiting to the end. And by the way, if it happened to all of us, I think we would all say a similar thing. Maybe not if it was the Rangers, like you know, but in general, you would take advantage of the situation if possible.
Can you imagine people sitting on the sick and taking money after an employer and not letting it bother their conscience?
I don't know what you're implying there. I don't know, but the wife's starting to call me Alec Roof. But listen, it's the thing about it though, man. I don't know whether it can be done or not, but like say, listening to Graham Souness interviews for years ago, the contracts. I know the fact was totally changed now, but he used to have like a basic rate of like, I don't know, would have been then 10 grand a week or whatever, but they had massive bonuses which gave them an incentive to win trophies and to win leagues and get on in Europe. I don't know if we can reduce the kind of wage rate, because whatever 64 million a club wage bill and what we are paying out, and what we're getting in return isn't anywhere near substantial for the rate that we're paying out there, you know.
Aye. Compared to the competition we're up against, aye.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I get it, mate. I get it. You know, but it's a strange thing. If we take Keemar, if you mentioned him, I mean, I don't think the support bizarrely quite like him, Robert. Yeah, because when he has appeared, he scores goals, and you know we thought he's a good player, but the support are always really frustrated with him and all, you know, because we know that maybe 2.5 years. He's played a handful of games, popped in, popped out, get injured again. And it's took millions out of the club. No, his fault, it was the contract. So therein lies the frustration. He ain't gone anywhere. Keemar will see his contract took. Maybe get somewhere lower in England. A deal pays you play or something. But, you know, made his money with us, Leeds, and wherever he was in Belgium, you know what I mean? So we've had him at the peak of his career and he's been injured.
That is the frustrating thing as well, because I think it's fair to say he's probably still the best finisher at the club, and even despite his injuries, his goals to game ratios is pretty good. But that is the frustration, because we know how much he can bring to the squad, and when you don't have him, then you're relying on the others, and they've not lived up to expectations or the standards. So that's the frustration thing for me personally, is you know you've got a good finisher there. We're crying out for one just now, and you've got a guy on the treatment table for, as you say, most of his career at Rangers, which has been unfortunate. Some of the injuries you can't predict or kind of hinder or help, but you're sitting paying the contract still. And I think, as Ake says, in terms of bringing in something to kind of keep a wage budget at a limit or whatever, if you're signing a player who has got an injury record, the length of their arm, then the pay and claim as you go is probably the best way to go about things in the future. But I don't think that would ever be an option for many players. They would rather have the contract and put it in their pockets and sit at home with the cigars in.
Yeah, but obviously if you want a player and you offer him that, he says, nah, I'm not signing. Or at that moment, all the power's the player in it.
Aye, player power. And I think that's gone from football. I know obviously I'm the youngest here, but in terms of what it is now, it's players are all interested in laying in their pockets than actually playing the minutes on the park, which I'm sure you guys will back up that's changed since it was in your day. It was all about playing for your club, playing for your country, getting the minutes and doing yourself proud and whatnot, but now it's about having the best of gear and the best fancy cars.
I think you'll be naive if you think it's always been about that. It's been called professional football for a reason, Bridgeman, eh?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. We used to talk about putting the brown paper bags, and it's, you know, they're getting paid, and contractually they're getting paid well. They got paid well compared to the ordinary punter on the street. But behind the scenes, I dare say they were getting some backhanders for bonuses, let's call them. I know there's a couple of the clubs I played for there in England. It's a non-league, but they still got a couple of bob at it, you know. Basically similar to a junior. So yeah. Professionals, big. Now, jeez, real.
Money, people will move for money, always have done.
Oh, wow.
Robert, even for your club, you know, it's, you'd be naive if you think it's changed, but there's been a party that's always been there, yeah. The thing that changed was the contract situation where the players get power, whereas the clubs always had it. They had your registration, and if they say for instance John Lundstrom and we wanted to keep him, and you had to stay with. Yeah, things have changed. Yeah.
Aye, you're right. It's totally flipped. I mean, your days of was it 7-year contracts and that? Jim McLean used to tie his assets down, and there was plenty down south did the same. Alex Ferguson did the same way his. But it's totally flipped now, and to be honest with you, I don't think it's for the benefit of the game. There's probably more cash in football now due to the football, the TV coverage than there's ever been. And that goes at all levels right across the world. You used to, you hardly go to a live game of football. You know, it was just your FA Cup games, your international games, Scottish Cup. And that's what made the World Cup so intriguing for everybody, because you'd never heard of these guys coming from Zaire and Puerto Rico and stuff like that. But when you seen them in action, you went, wow, these guys are good. And to their cost and money, the World Cups that we come up against them.
Right, anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Just to the listeners, come on, it's a phone-in show. I will need to turn off so many chats and so many social medias to get you to phone in. You need just to phone in because you make the show, right? But it's time for a tune, so get yourself on mute.
All along the walls of the Ibrox halls are pictures of legends of old, making history for the world to see. The stories of glories unfold. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through. Well, the legends come and the legends go, but Rangers live on just the same. For a new one's born when the blue shirts won, and we all remember their name. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through. There is no doubt what we're all about when we face the world and say, bring it on some more, 'cause you know for sure that we don't do walk away. We don't do walk away. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always, we are Rangers through and through.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, call me. Call me. And we're all back. Yeah, we can debate. Might go back to the Scottish Cup. You know, I sort of briefly asked you. Obviously, it's a big part of our history. Some tremendous days, tremendous results, tremendous excitement. You know. Right. Okay. Robert, memories.
Oh, 'cause I've got to be honest, I've only been to one Scottish Cup final, and it was the Nacho Novo goal against Falkirk.
Yep.
Roasting, sweltering heat.
Oh,
Chris
what a
Boyd
goal.
came off at
What
half
a-
time,
What a goal.
right behind it, mate. And as soon as it left his boot, it was in, and they feeling in the stands, and it was a roasting hot day, so everybody be able to jump about was just an absolute pandemonium in the stands. But no, that's the only final that I've been at the Scottish Cup, so that's in the memory book for me.
Aye. It's not as easy to get tickets for the big games as it was back in the day, mate. Yes, I get it, mate. I get it. Hey, Kate, your favourite memory?
Well, I'm going to go one less than you, Robert. Semi-final, 2016, Rangers 2, Celtic 2. Kenny Miller, Barry Mackay screaming, we beat them in penalties.
Where were you sitting?
I was behind the West. I was in the West, behind the goal. Could hardly see, but the atmosphere was amazing that day. We outsung them on the park. We actually played well. We were a better team for long spells, but a couple of stupid mistakes let them into the game. But winning that day, the elation of the Rangers support was something that'll live with me for a long time.
Aye, it was obviously finished a Celtic manager off.
Yep.
Yeah, it did, and the result was one of their biggest. Well, we won, mate. It was one of the worst results in their history, but it seems to have been edged out. And the disappointment was we never went on and won the trophy. That was another day.
Maybe a second division team.
Yeah, I was with Mr. Bridge that day. That was another day I got a fine because of him and Fox, but that's another story.
You can't say that. It wasn't to do with Fox and me. I was
3 days in a row get fines because of they two idiots, but there we go. Carry on, Bridge.
My favourite was the Kai Hansen one. Kai Hansen.
Kai Hansen? Yeah.
That was fabulous. He scored that goal for him at 60 yards, you know. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable stuff.
1966, 66.
Yeah, it was about that time. Aye, it was absolutely tremendous. You know, it lifted the whole roof, everything, because it was a huge. It was a draw. It was a
replay. It was a replay, wasn't it?
Replay, yeah, it wasn't a draw. The first one. Wow, just wonderful atmosphere. Walked all the way back to Queen Street to get the bus, to get the train in. Just fantastic. The feelings and the I have to say to you before that and before any Rangers, my dad, he liked to go to the cup finals, and I went to 2 cup finals, and went to one where Clyde. I was a Clyde supporter, and I was only 7 or 8 or something. I can't remember. But we beat Hibs 1-0. I can't remember what was the other thing. I can't remember what it was now. No, it was a game at Shawfield. I do apologise. It wasn't there for cup final. So
right, okay. Just for Robert, back then, for a long period of time, you would maybe sometimes have pay-in gates at cup finals. Yeah, you could stroll up, mate.
Nah, you're never getting that nowadays, are you? It's charged over the odds as well for some of the cup finals, especially teams that we could be playing in them as well. So, and as it Hampden, as AK says, the seats certainly great. You've been uplift to see the other end of the park at times.
Aye. Hampden, that's a whole other story, AK, isn't it?
No, it's a poor stadium. What's your memory, Ox? Your cup final? Which one sticks in your
cup
mind?
Final, a Scottish Cup memory?
Aye, either or.
Oh, there's quite a lot. I mean, if you think back, the games you've been at, the semi-final in 98 at Parkhead, when we beat McCoist and Albert scored stands. There's one going back to, it was a tie against Motherwell, 92, I think, from memory. I've not checked this out. We had won the cup for a few years, we won down with a few minutes to go. And Big Miko scored 2, Big Mikhailichenko.
Aye.
Yeah, going back further to Bridgeman, we were 2-0 down against Motherwell again, and Big Derek Johnson, and we won 3-2 with 20 minutes to go, and we won 3-2, but only won the treble.
I was at that game.
Yeah, and then you're going on to finals, the Lovenkrantz final.
Aye.
When you get that goal so late.
Yep.
You know.
To beat your Community Cup final. Big damn Forsyth, was it? The 6-inch streamer.
And then you've got obviously games that you won the treble. Rod Wallace, the day that he scored, we just beat them 3-0. Then Rod scores to win as the treble. Could I pick a favourite? For just the pure emotion, mate, and because of maybe the time of the match. And I wasn't his biggest fan, but it was one of the finest performances I've seen in a blue jersey. Was that day was Barry Ferguson's. I would need to go with the Lovenkrantz Cup final. because of when the goal was scored. Yeah.
Good choice. But when was that? Was it 2003? Was it?
Yeah.
Aye. Yeah. Good choice. Great final.
Yeah. But if you want to watch, if you've got some time and you're on the sicker end like that, AK, yeah. Right. If you've got it, was there's on YouTube. There's a 92-93 Scottish Cup final played at Parkhead, Rangers and Aberdeen. And if you want to see how far Scottish football's regressed, watch that.
Aye. Good choices.
Two football teams having a go. I watched it one day. I was there, and that was the one that allied the broken leg. Yeah.
Right.
Right. And I think Neil Murray and Mark Haitley scored. I can't remember who scored for them. Somebody scored late on, I think. If you watch the quality of the game, with the two teams having a go and comparing what you watch this now.
Yep.
Yeah, and Scottish football I'm talking about, yeah?
Yeah. To be fair, Aberdeen were a decent team then, as well. Aye, good choices.
Just because of the emotion, and when it actually happened, the Lovenkrands, and who it was against, the Lovenkrands Cup final. Yeah, because it was so late, Robert, if that makes any sense, yeah?
I remember it fondly, mate. Was it the ball in from, was it McCann that put the ball in? Back post?
McCann, aye. I mean, but obviously we had them win the cup, we beat Airdrie. 92, I said that. I think that was the same year Mikhailchenko scored the goals, kept us on the par. We had to win the cup for a while, and Ryan Jack and Scott Wright scored. That was after Seville come back, everybody was a bit flat, and gave us a wee bit of a lift, you know. So, great memories. Great memories. And a big part of the football supporter for us, because we're fortunate, the cup finals and triumphs, they're big memories,
Well, you know, when you were younger, the cup finals were highly charged, highly emotional games, and if it was for going for your team, it was euphoric. You know, just euphoric. If it wasn't for your team, then, and by the way, it didn't happen that much with the Rangers, you know, but change you win. It's just fantastic days. You know, as I got a wee bit older, you're in a pub for 3 hours before the game, meeting my brothers and my cousins, and then we trailed over to wherever we were going to Hampden. Oh my God, the whole day was just fabulous. And see coming out, just as you mentioned, you come out of there and you're up in the clouds, you know. They're just magical feelings that people get, just magical feelings. And it makes it even better when the other team is who they were. And they were completely downtrodden, you know. It's just fantastic. Just fantastic.
Aye, special days, and obviously, as Bridge says, they're different when you're starting out as a kid and you're fortunate enough to be took along. Then you start going with your mates, and then you start going with your mates when you're going for a drink, and then it's different emotions, AK, yeah?
Aye, you're right. Standing with your pal, and you know how much it means to him as much it means to you. But a wee question for you, I'm not sure it came up round about the League Cup time. I think one of the callers came in and said that, see all the years of footage where you used to get it presented with the cup in the main stand. We were presented with it on the pitch. Do you think it's better in at the main stand in amongst the support, or the way they done it at the League Cup there, where it's actually on the pitch? Because half the supporter, you've got the back to them then, and they're not really seeing the trophy getting paraded. What's your thoughts?
I just think the traditional way was better, mate, and I'll tell you why. The way the days, it takes forever now. Yeah? It takes forever.
We order fireworks and got a cheek to moan about us.
Well, many years ago, they used to do it, no matter what it was, they used to do a lap of honour until the Rangers fans jumped on the pitch and tried to nick the cup off of Billy McNeil. That caused a riot in its own way, you know. And they never allowed a sort of round the pitch, lap of honour again. That was the last. You were allowed to walk on the pitch and clap your fans and things like that. That was quite funny, that day, I must admit. A couple of Rangers boys jumped on and tried to grab the cup.
I prefer the traditional because it was quicker, mate. Yeah, because when you win the cup, it's great for the players, and obviously it's a lot easier today with adverts and TV. I get all that, mate, but the emotion in the stadium is about the supporters. Yeah, you know, and they forgot. I think sometimes they forget about that. You know, I don't know what you think, Robert.
I like it being in amongst the fans, the old traditional way up the staircase and amongst it all, kind of sharing that moment, because you don't get to enjoy it with the fans now during the game. So anything you can do with the fans, it makes it a bit more special for you, and it kind of brings it together. As I've always said, supporters make football for me, so to get them involved in it and kind of have that spectacle, and I think it's better viewing as well if they're up high as well rather than doing on the pitch.
You've got an update for us?
Yep, we're into the last 10 minutes of the women's game, and Rangers are now 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, so looking good so far.
Give a story in the match quickly, mate.
Well, believe it or not, Celtic got a penalty for a handball against Catherine Hill.
I thought they changed the rules and that wasn't allowed anywhere.
No, it actually hurt the underside of her elbow, believe it or not. So the referee, being the referee from the SFAs, gave it. They converted it, and then Hill kind of redeemed herself, popped up from a set piece, popped the ball in the back of the net, and then they've just scored there. I didn't see the goal score, unfortunately, but a good finish from just inside the box into the last 10 minutes.
Yes. Aye. That's my thoughts on the AK. Maybe as you become a certain vintage, you become better old-fashioned. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think when you're lifting your captain's getting presented with the cup, he should be able to, show it to every side of the corner of the Rangers support. He's basically showing it to the camera, and the people that's actually at the game are they're no getting to see it. They're missing out on it, and I don't think that's right.
Aye. It's every tournament now, the World Cup, the Champions League in it. And I'll tell you another thing, if I was involved in football. See if the team's lost, just let them go up the tunnel into the changing rooms. See this, having them hang about and having to clap the other team off. Bridgeman, I don't know about you. I'd just want to go up the tunnel if that was me.
Absolutely. You're scunnered. You've just lost a huge game and so on and so forth. Get your medals. Say congratulations, and the players can shout at you and do what they want to do as they pass you by. Right away, straight out of the tunnel, into your shower. Go for a pint.
Aye. What larging? Anyway, talking about largings, we couldn't find anybody. We'll be joined by Andy. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, guys. Enjoying the chat there, right enough. Fortunately, I'm just thinking back now, I've only ever seen us win 3 cup finals, and I was at the Hand and Riot as well there, right enough. When you think back, I've seen many League Cup finals, Glasgow Cup finals and all that, right enough, but I thought I'd seen more than that, right enough, but I haven't. Just thinking off the top of my head. I liked it when they went up the stairs, captain got the cup, passed it down the line. Like you said, we did the wee cheer and that, and we're off, and we wanted to go for a drink with our friends and enjoy the night. That was the way I would always like it to be, but modern day and all that, and it changed. You certainly wouldn't want to be standing there if you lost in the final, that's for sure. Like you said, you wouldn't be up the tunnel on the way, wouldn't you? But my first one was Centenary Cup final, my first Rangers Celtic final, game with my dad. I ran away for the League Cup one before it. Big DJs won, got murdered for that when I got back, right enough. But that was, the screamer from Big Tam, right enough. But that was a good game, that day. I can remember it, right enough. But 122,567, they put it at no chance. Where I was standing, your feet didn't touch the ground, and I was only a wee boy at the time, but that was my proudest moment, standing with my dad,
AK was only a wee boy at the time.
I'm still a wee boy now.
As Big Steve
with
says,
an old coupon.
He can get his feet in his passport photo.
You could get two on my passport photo.
Carry on, Andy. Carry on.
Aye, but no, that was great to spend that time. You know, when we come out after we won it, you know what it was like there. You come out in that crowd and you got caught right in that middle. You couldn't catch your breath, could you? And my old man was going nuts because I was halfway in front of him. Like I was getting crushed in the middle of it. And his hand come from nowhere and just pulled me out of it. That was another bollocking I got off him.
There's a theme here.
Oh, there's a theme, all right, don't worry, but I'm still getting it, I know, especially in that WhatsApp group.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I did that one, and then the two trebles, they were great days. Big Peter swinging on the crossbar.
Yeah, and obviously the Hearts game in '76.
And the Hearts game. Well, we actually scored before the English FA Cup final kicked off. Big DJ, if you mind, up straight and put that one right in the rigging, right in the top corner there. That was a great day. Fantastic memories. And then obviously it was at the one where it all kicked off right enough, you know. But I was a good boy that day. And I'll leave it at that. But no, they were great times, weren't they? But seen loads of League Cup finals, like I say. Was at the Glasgow Cup final when we beat them up at their place. I think Big Colin Jackson got a brilliant goal and header coming in. And there was about 60,000 there that night for the Glasgow Cup game. It was a Tuesday night or something. I was at all them like with the Scottish Cup ones. There's something about it. I've always, even now, still like the Scottish Cup. There's something about it. I used to like going to any game I could get to. You know, was getting to the final and winning it and all. The Aberdeen won the 4-1 game, getting there. That was a great game. Beat them in the league 2-1 the week before it. And then I was up and we won 4-1. That was fantastic. And they had that doing it about 60,000. There was part there in that ground as well that day, right enough. But like you were saying, there was, you know, some of the crowds they put out there, they were far bigger than what they were. But there again, I've studied crowds as low as 2,000 as well, right? So, but yeah, great memories of the Scottish Cup. Like, I hope we go on and do it again, like retain it and that. It was last game of the season as well, and then go away being a winner, you know.
Traditionally was apart from what they've done in England, didn't they? They moved the FA Cup final and made it not the last game of the season. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there was also actually, if you got to the final, you won it. Which seemed to be very long, close seasons. Then there was not like wall-to-wall football, so you seem to be waiting forever for the following season to start. But you always had that, you know, that buzz of winning that cup there. You know what I mean? I love the Scottish Cup. Great crowd at some of the away games. The Edge game, the 5-1 game. That was a great atmosphere that day, and St Johnstone 3 each, and them games. It's the following and through there, if they get there and go and win it. It's the memories. They never leave you, did they?
No, Robert. The bizarre thing was for the cup ties back in the day, the crowds went up. There was more interest in the cup. Bridgman, you want to come in with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Massive interest in the cup. Oh, massive! It was a huge day. It was and much like the FA Cup in England, it was a huge day, and people came to Wembley from all over the country, not just for following that team, but they were just to go to the cup final. That was quite traditional too. But it just generated massive crowds, you know. Before the way they shaped Hampden Park now. When it was the old terracing type thing, over 100,000 people in there, dead easy. And if it's scraped it, you got 110, maybe 120.
Yeah, what I was saying, but in the third round of the cup, if say teams were getting 30,000,
oh yeah,
they would have bigger crowds for a cup tie, wouldn't they? Then.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the cup just generated serious interest, you know, even for the younger, the other clubs. The Rangers are coming. My goodness gracious, they turn out in their droves to go to the cup game. You know, fantastic. Because when many times in the season they're going to get a chance to see Rangers. I'm talking about if they're a different league. You know, quite incredible. It just generates it. And that's just fabulous. And I hope we win it.
Yeah.
Hope we win it.
Right, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. I think it's only right. Let's hear Southside Super 6.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for the 20th of January. My first selection this weekend is Raith Rovers to beat Livingston away from home. My second selection is Blackburn Rovers to beat Huddersfield. My third selection is Coventry to beat Sheffield Wednesday away from home. My fourth selection is Oxford to beat Northampton. The fifth selection is Middlesbrough to beat Rotherham. And the sixth selection is Plymouth to beat Cardiff. If you take all six, it pays 67.5 to win.
I'll support them, but I can't see it, AK.
I'm the same as yourself. That'll be me hooked again. Cheese and beans by the end of the week.
Oh dear. Yeah. I
Good
think
luck, Good
No faith, you guys. No faith at all.
It's a bold one. The Rovers. I know Livingston's form's atrocious, but there's a gap between the two leagues. But hopefully the big man's picked out. I will support him as normal. There's a reason we've not got any faith, Brooks, man. There's a reason.
Go on then.
Well, have you seen the results?
I've been following your texts. Your texts are absolutely shocking, by the way.
I think they're quite topical. I think I've come down it.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. But,
yeah, quite informative. What do you think, AK?
He could be a journalist with the Daily Record, put it that way, Bridge.
God help him if he came with that bomb. Oh my God. When he was a wee boy, he could have been a journalist with him. No, I don't think so now. I don't think he'd be happy. Sorry, Ox.
No, that's all right. Robert, I just think I'm informing people what's happening.
You're telling us what we're expecting, mate. A Super 6 not happening again. That's what's happening. I'm going to start putting a fiver on the teams he picks and a fiver on the other team. Sorry, Southside.
Just for safety.
Cover your bets, Bridge. You've got to cover your bets.
I was they gave me one last week. I said, all right, I'll stick with you, big man. And I was out and I was busy, and then I checked the results of half time. The man was 3-2. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's worth a couple of quid for a laugh, eh?
Oh, he certainly gives you a laugh. He doesn't give you an interest. It's as you say, it's all my laugh. When you go Southside, he's due one. He'd won last year, and it's a new year. Oh, that's a penalty, Rangers. Oh, it's Steve.
That's a stonewall, that.
Is it?
It's a penalty to Rangers, believe it or not. There you go. 3 famous words.
How long to go?
A minute and a half.
Right, just give us an update then, Robert, before we move on.
It's just showing you the replay just now, mate. Come back to me.
Come back to you. What do you think you are? You think you're on Sky Sports News?
No, we don't believe stuff in the media, remember. So this is mainstream. This is better than Sky Sports. This is cutting edge action.
But people might want to know the score. So what's the score at the moment?
It's currently 2-2 because they get another penalty, and it was an absolute shocking decision. And Rio Hardy is about to step up and hit the penalty with about 40 seconds left.
Okay, mate. We'll hear in a few minutes or a few seconds how it's gone. Keep us informed. Aye, Andy, Scottish Cup. You're right. Big name, big memories. And listen, we want to win this cup, Andy. Yeah?
Oh, definitely. We want to win every trophy, and we're still not out of the league. I concerned that we don't bring a striker in, that it'll be very, very hard to do it right enough. But we'll see what happens. A couple of weeks to go, and you've got to keep your fingers crossed that you bring somebody in at that. But yeah, I definitely, like I said, that's my favourite trophy, that, to be honest with you, you know. Although the league gains is more and more revenue and chances, like, but there's something about the Scottish Cup. I think we come up for an era as well, and like you say, you get big crowds at all the games. You get bigger crowds than what you got at the league games at times, didn't you? You know, there was that romance about it as well, you know. Brilliant, you know. Rangers are scored, by the way. 3-2 should be that now. Not unless they put the extra 10 minutes on that doesn't go on the electric scoreboard. If you get what I mean.
Aye, there'll be 20 minutes to go yet, mate. Don't get too carried away. Don't get too carried away. Aye, okay. Right, so if the game's on tomorrow, and it is enough, AK, if you were the manager of the present squad, what would it be, your team?
My team? Butland, Tav, Golson, Balogun, Ridvan, Lundstrom, Raskin, Cantwell, McCausland, Dessers, Silva.
Where are you playing Silva?
On the left.
Okay. Do you see that?
I don't think he's a number 9 for what I've seen. I don't think he's going to be that white man.
I don't disagree with you there. I don't think he is what we would call a traditional number 9, yeah?
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's a loving hero.
That's where we could have problems, and it's staring us in the face. We need a striker.
Robert, you got an update for us?
In the 97th minute, 3-2 Rangers still playing. He's got that clock stuck, I think.
Right, and have you, what are you thinking for the Warner Bridge? Would you go similar to that?
I would go with that team, yeah, no problem. Quite confident in that one. But the truth of the matter is that we should be able to go out there and dust the floor with this team, providing the game's on. What we were talking about a wee bit earlier, we were saying weather is a great leveler, so bring big teams down dead easy. But we need to go out and do it. We need to show what they're worth. Do it, because big game. Every game's a big game now. Every single game for you at the end of the season is going to be a huge game. And this is one of them.
Do you think when they're talking to Silver about going to Dumbarton, they'll be saying it's similar to Braga Stadium? Do you think that's what they'll be saying, AK?
Braga.
Only 20 degrees colder.
And there is a bit of rock there.
Wait till he feels that wind coming for the Firth of Clyde. He'll definitely not think it's at Braga.
I think the last update of the evening on Robert.
It's all over, mate. 3-2 victory into the final against either Partick Thistle or Hibs. Well done, ladies.
Go on yourself.
Always good to beat them at anything, Andy.
Oh, without a doubt, anything. You want to do then, don't you? But from what I've seen of it, we played really well for a good stretch. We just couldn't get the ball in it again. Second penalty, Roberts just said there was an absolute shocker. Christ, I've got my reading glasses on, so I couldn't see it properly, but I could even say that wasn't a penalty. So, but we've got out right enough. Couple of minutes over what they've put up, and they can't ever get that. They put up 94 and 95, and it's bloody an extra 7 or 8 minutes. I don't know where they get that fair right enough, you know, but we're used to that as well, which we shouldn't be. You know, if they're putting that time up, maybe another 30 seconds over or something like that, but if that's the time up, that's the time you go, unless it's a bad injury or anything like that, you know. But we seem to get that a lot, don't they? The first one was a definite penalty, you know, and there were the laws, but the second one was shocking. But they stood up and they won, so that'll do, mate.
Talking about shockers, we've been joined by old Davy. Evening, Davy.
How you doing, boys? Hi, David. Good to hear you all. Good. Sorry?
What's on your mind?
No, I was just picking up on what you were saying earlier about the Scottish Cup. You know,
yes.
I was bids, man. You know, it was the Celtic replay game, and that was the what comes into my. I mean, there was 100,000 at the first game. I was at that one, and there was 86,000, 89,000 at the second game. And in the days, there was guys used to come in. They used to let them in. How they got in, probably I don't know, but they got in anyway without paying. And they used to have wee cardboard boxes with macaroon bars in them. You know, and they go around selling them, you'd hear them coming, hey, your macaroon bars and your spearmint chewing gum. Well, I remember this, and just as you go near us, Rangers, Sky Hansen battered one right in, and up went his macaroon bar. He must have been a Rangers supporter because he was being a monkey. He was like, I don't care. That's true, by the way. Macaroon bars are fun for the Sky. But what a night that was. You couldn't get us. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. But great night.
Aye, and would that be your favourite Scottish Cup memory, Davey?
Definitely. I think I was about 16 then, I think. And it was just, and young guys nowadays have never been in crowds like that. I mean, that's not a good thing to say because I'm surprised that there was never any real serious stuff. Well, unfortunately, it happened at Ibrox, which was tragic. But it's all changed now for the best. I was going to ask you about what time's the kick-off? Is it a 5 o'clock kick-off, folks?
5:30, mate, and well, there's an inspection. There's an inspection just about 10 minutes after you get your bed at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
I heard they're playing extra time at Parkey. That game will finish about 12 o'clock, right?
No, it's finished. It's finished, mate. Game's finished.
Good. Good. Yeah, get that stuff up right up.
You know, but I mean the Kai Hansen one's a historical final. You know, first Scottish Cup final live on the telly, but that have been 1977. There you go. That was the first one live, Robert. You have to that relatively new, mate. Well, relatively new. It's nearly 50 years ago, but you know, all the Scottish Cup finals were on the telly live. The first one was 1977 Rangers Celtic.
That does seem quite late when you think about it in the context. It only is, 50 years, as you say. That's quite a short time when you really think on it, which is quite surprising, to be honest.
Aye.
Is that a one each game?
No, we get beat 1-0, Andy Lynch penalty.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one? No, that's not the Derek Johnson one where they said it was handball, was it? That was the one. That was a terrible game, that.
It wasn't the best of the. I think it was Poland then. That was in the North Enclosure.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't good. Yeah. It was never a penalty, by the way.
No. It wasn't a great game. Anyway. And that was the first one live, Robert. 1977. Yeah.
Was it colour?
It would have been, mate. Aye. Colour telly had been in about 10 years, roughly, then.
At least they'd been able to see it properly then.
Aye.
Still the crap referees. They were still crap then.
You've always liked the refs. You know. Right. Okay. It's important we get through in the cup because we want to win it, and it's important that we go to the final and win it because obviously if we do, it's more money to us and less money to them. It's as simple as that. Also, isn't it?
It is, but it's the trophy count that matters to the support first and foremost. We don't look at the finances that's involved. If we're winning a cup, then they earn it. But it's the league's the one that we want to win it. But no, you're right. It's important to build on the momentum that we've gathered already.
Right.
All right, we've had a blip there before the winter break, but we've got a chance now to reset and come back with a different authority, a different approach. And it's just basically attitude and application now. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be a good pitch. It's not going to be good weather. But if you're going to have the right attitude and the right application, then we shouldn't have a problem. So it's up to the players.
Aye, attitude. I don't think you'll be allowed a bad attitude with this manager. He might not get it right, but he's a bit different. Talking about somebody with a great attitude. We've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Good evening. Happy New Year, everybody. How you all doing? Okay.
It's nearly
nice to...
Bob J. You don't need to say Happy New Year now.
Well, it's the first time I've spoken to you this year.
Yes.
So why not?
Always good to hear you. Yeah.
I'd always wish you all the best anyway. The Rangers lost is 1-3-2. Wonderful. Well,
yes.
Have we been linked to anybody? I heard you talking earlier on about the press. I would join the club there. I didn't believe a solitary word that lot says. I've never brought a paper since 2012 anyway, so it's immaterial to me what they say. I'd rather, I'm just like one of the boys says earlier on there. I believe what happens here on Rangers Radio and the rest of the Rangers podcast. The press, no, never. Especially the Scottish media. But there we go. Hey ho, we've got a cup tie tomorrow, and I think we can get this in out the road.
Maybe.
A lot of controversy about the pitch, apparently.
Aye, so we've got an inspection at 1 o'clock, Bob J. So.
Right, aye. When you come with that, tells you that.
Aye.
I see there's a bit of heavy snow starting to fall, so we'll see. But surely we can get by that, eh?
I would like to think
if the game goes ahead. I'd like to think so.
I'm not concerned about whether the game's going to be called off, if I'm being honest.
Aye, I would hear about your fixture backlog. We would, with these league games, we've got to catch up with. What's that, Bridge?
It also causes a problem with it's called off because Big Balogun served, he's serving a sort of red card or whatever it was.
Aye, against them. Aye.
So if it's called off, then if it's not, then that's that game. Then he'll be available for the next game. It's Hibs game, I think it is.
Well, Golton's out the Hibs again.
I'm saying that. So.
Aye.
Big Balogun at least would be in for a Hibs game, you know. So we're really struggling for that. And if that's out, that means the twin centre halves are out, you know.
Aye.
We'll see what it takes us, mate. But there's a lot of trial and tribulation. Wednesday's a big game, isn't it? You know, but we have to get them all out the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to hopefully get them all out the road. I'm more worried about it. If it makes sense, AK, if we wanted to play tomorrow, that would give us 2 league games behind them. We've got 2 European ties that they've not got to play, and then we would have as of tomorrow at tea time. We would have a Scottish Cup tie to play. We would then be 5 games behind them. And I'm talking about fixtures. No, yeah.
I know. It becomes a real problem there. That's where it makes it look stupid. The winter break. We've had 2 weeks there of doing nothing, where we could have caught up in games. But what is the answer though? Because as you say, our weather can be horrendous from December right through to March, November even. But it could be all right as well. You just never know. It's hard to predict. But you're right though. If you're dragging your heels on certain games and you've still got European games, I mean, the good thing about the European games, we've not to play them to March. So hopefully there is some midweek opportunities where we can fit these games in, because we can't afford to be like 2-3 games behind constantly. It's no good.
And then you've got, I know, in theory we catch up the league games. But next Saturday lunchtime, I know they play, but we have played 2 before they play again. And if we can win, hopefully we get momentum. You know, but we'll wait and see tomorrow how it goes with the weather. What are you thinking, Davey?
I'm thinking actually what I was going to ask yourself and the rest of the guys is, do you think he'll play with a game on Wednesday and thought he'll play a wee bit cautious with who he plays?
Fair enough. I think he'll play to go and win the game and then he'll make changes. That's my thought. Robert and AK, then Bridge.
I think he'll respect the competition, Ox. I think he'll, as you say, he'll start strong. I don't think he'll maybe be too different a lineup to what we saw start against Copenhagen, to be honest. And then obviously get a couple of goals in and then change it then. But I think he'll respect the competition, and he said earlier on as well in the press conference that it might not be the prettiest game, and the pitch and the weather might play a big part in that. So it might not be the greatest spectacle to watch, but as long as we get the job done with the players that he puts on the park, then that's fine for me. But no, I think he'll start strong and get the subs on late on.
AK.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Robert. Get the game won early. Pick a strong team and get the game won early. Make your subs and hopefully come through the game with no injuries and a good win. That'll do. Send the Bears home happy.
Bridge?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. It's get there, all guns blazing. The first 20 minutes anyway, and do what you can. At least get one goal, maybe a couple of goals. Settle everybody down and go on with it, and then you change it over after that time. Bring on the one you want. Do what you like. Just get the game done. Just get it done. First half, it's got to be done.
Andy?
Yeah, same as the guys. Try and get it done as quick as possible. Then, obviously, get my thoughts on the Wednesday, like you said there. Like we should be sweeping them outside of whoever they play or whatever park we play on right enough. But that's massive on Wednesday. So hopefully,
what are you thinking?
I'm just thinking the same as the rest of the guys. Respect the opposition, respect the competition, put your strongest team available, win it as early as you can, get it out and done with, and then we'll face up for what we've got to face on Wednesday. And that lot is just like the rest of them. They raised their game against the Rangers, so we know what's coming on Wednesday. But they're not the greatest this year. You can drive an Edinburgh bus through them. So I'm looking to win there on Wednesday, But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Get this done with them all. I sincerely hope the game's on, just like the rest of us, to get it out of the way.
Aye.
Avoid a fixture pile-up.
Aye. Did you see it different, Davey? Were you think they're making changes?
No, I want the game on actually, but I'm a bit more concerned what you were saying, Oaks, about the weather, because I don't care what anybody thinks about Dumbarton, or when you're playing in that conditions and that kind of crap park, it can be a great leveler. So in the cup game, they raised their game. The only reason why I was asking that, I just thought maybe we chop and change a couple, but I know I'd like to see Balogun getting played. And then, because we're struggling for Wednesday for the centre half positions.
I'm not sure who's suspended. Is any of them suspended for tomorrow?
I think Balogun suspended from that red card against them across the city. I think that carries into the Scottish Cup fixture.
Oh. Yeah, that's right.
You probably start with Goldson, and it's who you pin him up with. Obviously, you play Suter, you've got Ufeko, King. That's probably a few options there. One of them will start next to Goldson, I'd imagine.
I think it would be Suter, mate, if I'm being honest.
Natural selection, innit?
It would just do a lot if he gets a knock for Wednesday, innit?
I would probably play King then, you know what I mean? Keep Suter for Wednesday, and then Balogun returns on Wednesday as well, so you've got two fresh centre-backs. Goldson won't play on Wednesday night, so let him play tomorrow and play King.
If you're playing the left side, would you not play Ufeko?
Potentially, aye, natural footer, but I think obviously King's probably just that back in front of him that is kind of centre back area.
When was the last time King played centre back for us?
No, I know, I'm just saying in terms of ranking of players coming through and being an addition into the first team. Probably say King's get more chance of getting a start than Ufeko.
I don't know, mate. That left sided centre back gives you a wee bit of advantage sometimes, Bridgeman. Must be tight.
I agree there, pal. I agree there.
You know, that left side, AK, you know, it's... If you're left-footed, naturally, it's a big plus, sir.
It's been a position up for grabs there for a few years, and Connor Golson said that in his presser today. They're 4 centre-halves set to pick, but he's the mainstay, and he's basically 3 different partners going through this year and going through last season, going through the season before. He's been the mainstay in the team, so yeah, it's always been up for grabs. Do we know with the Davies situation? Is he still?
You have the manager in the press conference. If you look in your notes on your 4th line, the notes you've made, you'll see Ben Davies was mentioned. Robert, you need to have a word with these boys. You need to have a word with them, they need to listen, huh?
Right, he's going to be the first to return out of the injured players.
There you go. If you see that in your notes, AK?
I got it now, right.
Well done, mate, well done. Ben Davies is another mystery, isn't he? You know. Right, how's it going?
Better with Sharon Davies.
Now you're talking. Right, right. Let's assume the weather's bad tomorrow, the game's on. Right, just for us. How's the game going to go, Andy?
I think we'll win 2 free play goals myself. I'll be surprised if we don't. I mean, they're not great quakes. We just get a couple of early goals. If they do that, they'll probably just get a third one in the second half because they usually take the foot off the gas, don't they? They score early, but I would be, like Old Daly said there, like they can be a level of it. No, not them. I'd be very annoyed if we struggle out of that game, to be honest with you. So I'll go for it. I'll take a 3-0 in the bad weather conditions. I'll still take a 4-0 bet there enough.
Your 4-0 bet? Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
Get on the South Side Super 6, 60-71.
I throw that fiver away every week. Do I call that the dirty fiver? You know, that just goes every Saturday.
If we all pulled our money and never put it on, we could solve a national debt.
You solve the post office crisis and all.
I don't think that's on the horizon. See what I've done there?
Oh, aye. Fujitsu.
Right, how do you see it going, Bob J?
Oh, we should beat them, eh? I mean, we should. Just do it with the usual professional attitude. Get on with it. Put as strong a team as possible on the park. Get it over and done with at half time if possible. And just get this fixture out of the way. Oh, it would be a major sensation in football if they beat us. I doubt that. Like, we'll have all the ball and we'll be all the attack. We'll have all the pressure. If we get chances, take them, and the game will be yours. That's why I see it going. I'll go for 3-0 and all.
David?
I hope we get a good start and maybe burn on a couple after that and then get a few of them at the pack and bring on the boys. Not too many right enough, but I think a comfortable one, 3-0, but as I said, I don't mind the weather being wild and that part's right on the Clyde. It's a terrible part.
A pitch inspection 1 o'clock, it just doesn't give me a good vibe, Robert.
No, it doesn't, but I think if they did that early in the morning, like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, then it's probably going to fall victim because it's first thing in the morning. It's probably got a chance to dry out or fall out or whatever at that time of day. So it's still close to kick-off, but it's a bit kind of more hopeful than it would be if it was an early inspection. But I don't know, mate. I just think with the weather conditions, the stadium being wide open on the bankside Clyde doesn't sound promising.
Robert, can I just say something, son?
Go for it.
A jumbo jet can dry out that part for tomorrow.
You know what I mean? The cold air could make it hard and frosty, Davey. We'll go with that. Not dry out, but make it harder anyway.
They were looking for a big sucker, Davey. I put your name forward.
Oh, here we go. Wait, say my cute old guys. Here we go.
Only because AK's on the pack, Mick.
I've got a name for Stevie. I've got a name for Stevie to tell. Bluebells, sky in the pie.
That's the worst name ever.
I was all I could think about.
Our fair Fox had a brilliant idea for Stevie's Hotel. It would only show blue movies.
Oh, God.
Oh, God's sake. Dear.
Unbelievable.
That was Fox's idea, no mine, Bridge.
You get a free pie with that?
Last word of the night. You've always got the lower tone, Davey. Last word of the night. Andy Philly.
Oh, listen, great memories and good show. Can I just give a shout out to the young team last night? I thought the points they brought up were absolutely fantastic and very fair with their answers and all that. And that was great to hear James Tennessee on again.
Excuse me. Port Bear was on that show last night. There's no way that was a young team.
I know, but you've got to give him a wee bit of toffee or he'll crumble, won't you? Just let him think he's in that bracket, that's all.
All right, okay, sorry. Yeah, they done well. Good boys.
Yeah, they were good last night. They were fantastic points. I really enjoyed the show last night, to be honest with you.
Last word for your good self, Bob J.
Aye, thanks for having me on again, Ox. And we're feeling a bit better for that bloody flu. It was terrible. Let's go for it at the moment, Gers. I've got a totally winnable cup tie in front of you. Just be professional, do the job. And thanks for having me on. And all the best for the moment, lads. And I'll hear from you very shortly.
Great to hear from you, Bob J. I'm glad you're feeling better.
They bother, pal.
Davey?
Aye, great. Always is. Best show in town. Thanks for taking my call. And that was Janice just come in there and says, "Do they always give you dogs up your swat?" I said, "Yes, they do, dear. Don't worry about it. I've all survived. Just like a gel." Anyway, it's been a pleasure, guys. You all stay safe. And I'm looking forward to the second half of the season. Good night and God bless the Rangers.
Cheers, Davey. Always a pleasure, mate. Robert?
Good to be back on again, mate. Enjoyed that show. Quite good to hear the Scottish Cup memories from yourselves as well and the callers. So hopefully get a game on tomorrow, get that out the way and back to league business.
AK.
Good show tonight again, pal. Good to hear the callers, Andy and Davey, Bob Gerwin again. On with Rob and the Bridgeman, yourself. Good show. And looking forward to the game tomorrow. Come on, the Rangers.
Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say? Oh, fantastic show. Thoroughly enjoyed it, Oxford. Well done to yourself and, of course, the techie boys in the background. Super stuff. And the two guys that are looking after me, Robert and Kelso there. And seriously, it's just been wonderful. Really good night. I really enjoyed it. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, tomorrow night, biggest game of the season, believe it or not, biggest game of the season, and we need to win it. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers. In your heart, keep it going.
All right, thanks to Bob J, Davey, and of course the one and only Andy for Leeds for joining us here tonight. Robert, AK and Bridgeman for doing the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. And of course, thanks to everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 4:30 with a pre-match show if the game's on tomorrow. If not, we'll speak to you Monday, 8 p.m. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, everybody, with the bad weather. Take it away, Old School Blue.